Interesting. Like, why? Who are all these people? And how is it that she has an ex-husband that's speaking up, and then also an ex-husband that died in 2003? I have questions. Questions. I have a lot of questions. And so that's kind of where I'm at the moment. I'm not I know it's a small thing. Probably a small thing. Is it a small thing? That's a good question. I have no idea if it's a small thing or not. But this is what I'm kind of wondering, like why, how, um, it's boggling my mind, who actually has is this guy just being named to confuse us? Because there was nothing in there about the ex-wife. Maybe that, I mean, you would think. But she supposedly moved from Colorado and he was buried in Oregon. I'm not, I have questions. I have questions, like, because if we're not all being given the proper information, then how do we really how do we have conversations between all of us? When it really comes down to it, how do we as a people really begin to understand what it is that we're even arguing about? I mean, I so many times. I mean, I've pulled myself on and off of social media multiple times over because you just get to the point where you're overloaded. You have no idea. You have no idea. Because you think something is one way. You've researched it up and down 20,000 times over. And I was actually starting to pull my hair out before I popped this up because I couldn't get that article to populate at all out of the Fortune magazine on my computer. It just wasn't happening. I had to open up 3 separate browsers to be able to get that to pop back up again, and Fortune wasn't even finding it. So, and then all of a sudden, here we go. I don't know, it's very strange. It makes me wonder what's being edited in real time, I mean, I am obviously old enough to have remembered the the book 1984, and I think one of the biggest things that came out of that was the total changeover of information overnight. It's definitely worth the read if you can find an original copy. I never thought it was possible for them to be able to pull it off until the age of technology. So, so we have two different sides to the story. Okay. Let's look at. Okay, so here's my January 9th, right? And I think this is what was driving me crazy earlier is that if you actually looked up, and let me see if I can do this again, recreate the situation. Oops, nope, name spelled wrong. It's Aelbiesecker. Um, so this was the person that actually wrote, and this is what I was talking about, guys. Um, I'm trying to look these up, right? I'm trying to look up this information, and for some reason, even if I look this up, January 9th, 2026. Oh, because it keeps changing the. Well, it would help if it didn't change. Did I not change that back? Okay, so January 9. Let's just run through an exercise here. 2026. And I'm not the best typist, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. So the only two things that pop up for that date is some Apple news, right? And then if I go to newest, it's still Apple, Apple. Let me see if it'll even come up. Personal finance, mortgage, current arm, real estate, finance, 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 finance. But now we're getting into, see what I'm saying? So it's not even newest. But now let's go to MICHAEL. Stop changing it. BIE. Nothing. But that's exactly how it is there. Hmm. I don't know, guys. Scratching my head. That's where I'm at. And these are the things that I. Oh, you know what? Sorry. I was going through that whole thing and not showing you. So, anyways, January 9th, 2006, and I'm trying to bring up the author's name, right? Biesecker. Okay. Okay, so finally it's bringing this stuff up. And, okay, so maybe it was because it was changing my spell check may have been changing the E and the A for a second. But the other thing is that for a minute I was getting a paywall too. And as you can see right now, there's no paywall. There it is. Haha, here came that paywall. So. I've got that on video now, don't I? Mm. But yeah, so here's these paywalls now that are going to come into. They're like, oh, you've seen enough. Here's a paywall. And this is the other thing too, guys. Information, right? Is it really free? Is your information actually free? Because at this point, for me to actually see what they're talking about, the fact that she might even have an ex-husband that's alive at the present moment. I don't know. The Advocate says it's not. Right here. Now, granted, this is due to the Star Tribune, but previously married to Timmy Ray Mackin. Where's everybody getting this information? She's not even listed in the obituary. So which one? I mean, we have a name for this one. And then if you look at Bing, Renee Good was previously married to him. Even the AI is populating it. Is that where they're getting it from? Bollywood. A lot of this is coming out of India. Anybody notice that? That is Bollywood, by the way, if you didn't know. That's India. Um later. Not subscribing to anything. All right. Hails from Colorado Springs, where she lived in the Twin. She originally hails from Colorado. See, where she lived in the Twin Cities with her partner, Colorado, and this is what I'm saying. Are we sure that half of this stuff isn't just populated by AI? Because this doesn't make any sense. Renee originally hails from Colorado Springs, where she lived in the Twin Cities with her partner. The Twin Cities is in Minneapolis, is Minnesota. That's the Twin Cities. Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs. So let's look this up. Okay, Colorado Springs is where? Colorado Springs. City in Colorado, USA, right? Now, Sorry, guys. Let me move something else real quick because this is annoying the piss out of me at the moment. Image. Browser. This guy here. Sorry. Let me move him down here. My bad. All right. So Colorado Springs is in Colorado State, right? The Twin Cities. Oops. Twin Cities. Twin Cities. Minneapolis, St. Paul, right? That's the Twin Cities. Minneapolis, St. Paul. As far Twin Cities, St. Paul News. Minneapolis, St. Paul. That's how I've always known it. So let's read that sentence one more time, right? Renee originally hails from Colorado Springs, where she lived in the Twin Cities with her partner. Those are two different states. Two separate states. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. I mean, if you are, I don't know if it's been 7 days or not, but if you saw my original video where I was opening up and want to give you guys a taste of what I actually want to talk about on here, this is what I'm talking about. When you find stuff like this, right? And a lot of us just kind of glance over it and read over it and go, it is what it is. And, or maybe you're reading every other word, or maybe you're speed reading and you just take out the uhs, the thes, the was, and the filler, well, you know but this is what I'm talking about, like, what are we actually reading, right? I mean, you have Bollywood. You have what looks to be AI generated, and then on top of it, they're trying to say that this guy was actually alive in Fortune. Renee Good's ex-husband describes her as no kind of activist whatsoever. So he's dead, yet he's giving statements. I'm still trying to understand this. Anyways, feel free to hop on. I'm gonna try and I mean, I find stuff every day, so I'm gonna come on here. I'm gonna talk to you guys about it. I'm gonna show you what your news actually looks like. And the funny thing is that I got this through my feed. Wasn't just Fortune. I got this on my feed. Through, I think it was, no, through like Google Stories, you know? Google Stories on my phone. The ones that populate on your phone, that's where I got it from. So anyways, guys, before you have that argument with your mom, before you have that argument with your dad, your grandpa, your husband, your kids, before you have that argument over who's right, why don't you take a quick look at where the sources are coming from. We'll chat about this later, guys. I gotta actually go make some real money today, but if you like this content, join up. I'll be making these as much as I possibly can. Obviously, with a little bit of help and support, I can do this more often. But I need to go pay the bills, and I will be back with you guys currently in my free time. So I'll be back to share some more interesting ways to look at the news. Guys, I'm stuck in the middle with you. I'm learning as you are. I'll see you guys on the next trip around. All right.